Alrighty, so legislators are concerned about the impact that higher minimum sentences for murder will have on the country's two high-security prisons. Joining us this morning, Opposition Committee member Denise Daly to talk us through these issues. Good morning.
Good morning,
Thank
ma'am.
you so
Welcome.
much for being here.
Morning. Believe me, it's a pleasure.
Oh, so nice to have you.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what the concern is, Ms. Den.
Well, first and foremost, I want to establish that we are not against any measures that will be able to prevent crime and violence. The opposition is in for anything that will make a safer Jamaica and a more safer more safer communities. So we want to get that on the record that the opposition believe in crime fighting, we believe in the safety of our citizens, and we also believe in human rights.
The minimum sentence, they want it to go to 50 years. What is it now?
It is now 45 for non-capital murder and 15 years for non-capital.
I said it's among the proposed changes a mandatory minimum sentence of 50 years for capital murder.
For capital murder.
And I'm asking, what is it now?
It is 20 years.
20 years. And you are suggesting it should stay at 20?
No.
What are you
Let's
suggesting?
talk about what they...
Well, we met as a committee, opposition committee, and we are going to be coming up because I'm not speaking on my own. So I did not get an opportunity to discuss what we would believe would be reasonable, because we are talking about 50 years, about 250% increase. And we are looking not just on the increase, but what benefits will we achieve with a 50-year sentence. Who will be affected? Is the country's economy will be affected? Will rehabilitation be done in that 50 years to make sure, especially, and I'm more concerned too about the Child Care and Protection Act, where the minimum sentence, the mandatory, would be 20 years. And we are saying that if you do not have a proper reform system in prison, you are just putting people there. After they go on parole, if it's 30 years or so, they're coming back out into society. So another generation will have to face how to fix them again if they cannot tell us exactly how they prepare to fix the situation while they are in prison for such a long time.
So high level, what is the committee saying? What is the committee proposing? What are you putting out there? So you've voiced your concerns.
Yes.
What do you think the right thing to do, the right sentences, the right measures are?
I believe that sentencing without rehabilitation is useless. And while the government is insisting that higher sentences will deter people from committing crime, I see it differently, because I don't believe some of these perpetrators even think about the penalties when they are committing these crimes. I think we need a serious reform system to look at the psychological problems that we are now faced with, especially with some of these people who are incarcerated. Some of them is reading at a grade 1 level, some of them at kindergarten level, some of them can't read none at all. So we have some things to do before we talk about us continue raising the bar for sentencing. And we will propose a number, and we are going to do so before the next committee meeting.
You said
we're supposed to have a meeting, I think it's next week.
Okay.
You said earlier in an answer to Simone's question that you and your party will do anything to try and solve crime and violence. And you are suggesting that if someone thinks that he's going to go to jail for 50 years, that won't stop him from being violent or killing someone?
If they have the ability to understand what that is, because most of who we are incarcerated now and in incarceration, I don't as a teacher, believe that they even understand the consequences. Is after the fact. We need to educate. We need to do some homework in this country. We need to look at the social problems in this country. We need to make sure that our prison system is so equipped that when they go there, they are properly reformed so that when they come back into society, they don't become a menace.
You know, I kind of want to ask you how we do that, because the notion of locking up people without rehabilitation is not a new issue. It's not 10 years long, it's not 20 years long. It's a long time problem we've had in this country. Our penal system is in need of an overhaul in the worst way in so many areas. So how do we materially start to implement some of these reforms that you speak of? And in our lifetime, will we ever see them?
Well, for us to fix crime and violence in this country, we will have to decide what is priority. And I believe, first and foremost, the inhumane conditions in the prison, to start with. We have to make sure that it is conducive for to reform persons. Secondly, we have to educate our citizens in order for them not to. Prevention is better than cure. And the preventative measures, I don't believe it is in place. We need to be analyzing some of these youngsters, because the crime and violence, especially now, is committed by it starting from age 15, 16 going on.
12 even.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not concerned, ma'am, that someone watching this morning who lost a family member to the gun, are you not concerned that they would say, well, here's this lady sitting on TV, so concerned about the criminals that they must get reform and they must have good place to sleep and stuff. And she's not concerned about the families who are losing sons and daughters and sisters and brothers. Are you not concerned?
No, I'm extremely concerned, because I myself have a nephew, a grandnephew, to be buried very soon.
I'm sorry.
By gun violence.
I'm sorry.
So, but that does not really should cause me to believe that if we really want to see changes, and the victims want to see changes too, because they don't want reoccurrences. So I am certain that the victims that are out there, including myself, would want to see a society that bring about changes, that people will not want to commit crime and find other ways to solve conflicts.
Can both things be true? Can we increase sentences and look about reform? Does it have to be mutually exclusive? We can't do the two of them.
We have to do both, because if we are looking for a good result, we have to do both. Because if we try to increase in penalties, I have never seen it deter anything at all, or to prevent anything, because most of these people who are committing these crimes, most of them are contract killers. Some of them have simple dispute, but they cannot resolve it because the dispute resolution, they don't understand how to even communicate. They have a lot of ego. We need to start doing things from in the schools and the communities.
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's daunting work.
Exactly so.
That has to be done.
And what really is happening is that because we are acting on crisis, we sometimes allow the victim to feel that they are at a disadvantage. But if we can rehabilitate them and make sure, and you know, from my personal view, I believe nobody should be locked up who take away the life of a father who is a provider. He should be put to work in order that the state get back some benefit to make sure they make proper provision for these, especially for those who have children.
Interesting. And some people will disagree, but interesting.
It's a whole other discussion.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, ma'am. God bless you and your family. And again, we're sorry that you lost a family member.
Thank you.
Opposition Committee member Denise Daly.
All right, coming up, deeper regional integration. Talking Caribbean Court of Justice after this break.